Alright, Unit 20, Day 3. We're running right through these without an issue. Now, today, we're simplifying radicals again. Y'all have already done something involving this on Day 2. This is pretty much a reiteration and a reinforcement of what y'all did on Day 2. So, how this works basically is we're looking for pairs. We're looking for things that match out of our factor trees, right? So we take 24, for example, and we break it apart into 2 and 12. We can break that 12 apart into 2 and 6, which will further break apart into 2 and 3. So we can break those off and leave those in, okay? Couples go out, singles stay home, okay? And if you need me to back that up just a smidge, that's 2 on the outside of 2 times 3. Okay? So whenever we have singles, they stay inside of the radical, and you multiply them together. Okay? If you have multiple couples, they go outside and they multiply. Okay? So number 2. Okay? Number 2, we break that apart into 4 and 10. We can break the 4 apart into 2 and 2. 10 goes into 2 and 5. So there's that. And then we got 2 and 5. Alright, so we can take the 2 out, and that's going to be out there. And then 2 and 5 is going to be 2 and 5 inside. And whenever we do that, that winds up being 2 root 10. And there it is. Alright, next thing, we're going to do 2 on 27, which we can break apart into 3 and 9, which can be broken apart into 3 and 3. So I've got 3 as a couple, and then I can leave those 2 inside of the radical, like that. Multiplication. That's an add sign. Multiply dot. There we go. Okay, so 3 root 6. Alright? And that's not too bad. Like I said, this is just exactly what we did, what would be, yesterday or Friday or whenever. So, on day 2. So, number 4. There's a couple of different ways to break this apart. Now, the easiest is going to be 2 and 64. 64 breaks apart into 8 and 8. Alright? And I can take those 8s out and leave the 2 inside. So that's going to be 8 root 2. And there's that. Alright, now I can do something similar with 108. Break 108 into 2 and 54. 54 breaks apart into 2 and 27. 27 breaks apart into 3 and 9, which breaks apart into 3 and 3. There's that. There's those. Okay, 2 and 3 go on the outside of 3, which is 6 root 3. And there's that. Alright. Number 6. Break apart the 98 into 2 and 49. 49 breaks apart into 7 and 7. Alright. So we can take a 7 out and leave the 2 in. And there's that. Okay. Now, getting to where you can do these quickly and efficiently in your brain is going to be a bit of a challenge, but it's nothing that none of y'all can't do. So, y'all all have the ability to. So, just work on your multiplication facts. It's going to really help with this part. Okay? Number 7. Okay? Number 7, we're going to break x to the 6th into 2 pieces, which is going to be x to the 3rd and x to the 3rd. Y squared breaks into y and y, so there's that. There's those. And if you remember correctly, if we have something where everything's been kind of coupled out, there's not going to be a radical left, okay? All that we're going to have is x to the 3rd and y. Alright? Number 8. Very similar process, okay? Only thing is, we got to break this down so we have an even exponent. And once we have that even exponent, we can break things apart more efficiently. So we got x and x to the 4th. We break apart the x to the 4th into x squared and x squared. Y to the 3rd goes to y and y squared. So we can break that apart into y and y. So there's those. There's that. Underline your singles. So we got x squared times y root x y. And there it is. That's all there is to that. Alright? Number 9. We can go and break that into 2 pieces for the 9. That's easy. X to the 3rd breaks apart into x and x squared. X squared is x and x. Y to the 8th is easy. That's just y to the 4th and y to the 4th. See if I can make that look like a 4. Oops. There we go. Y to the 4th. So that's a pair. That's supposed to look like a y to the 4th. I apologize if it doesn't. So there's that. That's our only single. So we got 3x y to the 4th on the root of x. And there's that. That's done. Is that easy? Okay? You're just looking for pairs. You're just looking for things that match. Alright? Alright. Number 10. Alright, we've got 80, which we need to break apart. Alright, so if we break apart the 80, well, we got a couple of ways to do that. I'm going to go with 8 and 10. Okay, I can break the 8 apart into 4 and 2. I can break the 10 apart into 2 and 5. The 4 breaks apart into another set of 2's. So I've got a set of 2's there and a set of 2's there. Okay, that's going to be x to the 5th that needs to be broken apart. So that's x and x to the 4th. So that's x squared and x squared. Okay, and there's a single there. So that's going to leave us with y to the 3rd to separate. That's y squared, y and y. So there's that. So 2, x squared, and y all go outside. So 2 times 2, I'm going to go ahead and take care of that. That's 4. And that's going to be x squared and y. So we got 5x and y. So we're going to put that inside the root. So that's going to be 5x and y. And there's our answer. Now, y'all are probably wondering what the heck we mean by something being simplified when it winds up looking like that in comparison to that. It doesn't look a whole lot simpler. But the fact of the matter is that right there, the 4x squared y on the outside of 5xy, whenever we go to do stuff tomorrow, okay, or on day 4 rather, we're going to be adding these things and trying to figure out what we can add and what we can't add. In order to add them, they need to be simplified, okay, in order for us to combine these. So we're basically making it simpler for stuff in the future. Alright, we're trying to build on stuff here, so just keep that in mind. Now, number 18, we can break that apart into 9 and 2. 9 breaks apart into 3 and 3. X to the 4th breaks apart into x squared and x squared. and it goes like that. Alright, and that looks atrocious. Let me fix that. There we go. That looks better. Okay, so we got that negative sign out front. Okay, we got a 3, and we got an x squared with a root of 2. Alright, now number 8, we can break that apart, or number 12, okay? But the first thing that we need to do is go ahead and write down this piece out front, so that way we don't forget it. 2 times x. Now we can take that 8 and break it apart into 2 and 4, and 2 and 2. Circle our pairs, so we can go ahead and put that out there. X squared breaks apart into x and x. That's a pair, so multiply that by x as well. We're going to leave a 2 inside the radical. 2 times 2 is 4. X times x is x squared. Root 2, and then we're done. Problem finished. It's that simple. Alright. Now, we're going to do number 13 in a very similar manner. Okay? We're going to go ahead and we're going to write down this piece that's outside of the radical down here. So we got 3x. And then we need to take the 72 and break it apart into whatever we want. I'm going to go with 2 and 36. Okay? Break the 36 apart into 6 and 6. Golly gee willikers. There's a pair. Alright, so that's taken care of. So I can go ahead and multiply by 6. X and x to the 4th. The x to the 4th breaks apart into x squared and x squared. We have another pair there. So we can take care of that. Now, let's see. We've got a single there and a single there. So we go ahead and we put those inside. So that's going to be 2 and x. So let's see. What does that leave us with? Well, 3 times 6 is 18. X times x squared is x cubed. And we just leave the 2x inside of the radical. And it goes like that. Problem solved. Simplified, rather. Okay? Number 14. Alright? Let's see. Like I love to do, we're going to go ahead and write out the piece on the front. 2ab squared. With a little multiplication sign behind it. Okay? 20. Let's break that apart. That's going to be 2 and 10. That's going to be 2 and 5. We can circle that. So we know that we're going to have a 2 down here. And then we can break apart the a squared. The a squared is going to be a and a. There's that. So multiply that by a. B to the 3rd breaks apart into b and b squared, which is b and b. There it is. Alright, so I can pull out a b. Now, what stays inside? Well, we got a 5 and a b, so that stays in. That's a 6, not a b, Mr. Houston. 5b. There we go. Alright, now negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. And then a times a is a squared. B squared times b is b cubed. Root 5b. There it is. So, we've got negative 2 times 2, that's negative 4. A times a is a squared. B squared times b is b cubed. And 5b just stays the same. And that concludes the notes. Voila.